What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I have Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So Shannon is back to us off of vacation. So we had Chris Abakan as our guest host for the past 2 weeks. So thank you, Chris, for all your time and dedication. We'll definitely have Chris back on at some point, and he's local to me, so you never know. We might do it live or something. I don't know. That's early in the morning. We'll figure something out in the future, though. But definitely we'll have Chris back on. It was cool to catch up with him, as well as have a consistent guest host in Shannon's absence. So when I take vacation, man, we'll do the opposite. Be Shannon Abakan, because I really want to keep it going. Right, we've been very, very consistent over the past year, and I definitely want to keep that rolling. So we'll dig into what Shannon was doing on his vacation, all that good stuff on Friday's episode, the weekly rundown. So definitely tune in for that. This week, again, we have our topics Monday and Tuesday. Our discussion on Wednesday. This Thursday is a little bit different. So I do have an Ask Us SP, but it's with Sam Brown, and Sam Brown is a coach, a mentor, a public speaker, and he helps people secure employment. So he builds curriculum and all that good stuff. Definitely tune in for that one. So it's a little bit different because it's not targeted specifically to cybersecurity, but it's very universal. So definitely tune in for that one. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article comes from darkreading.com. It's by Jai Vijayan. I hope I'm saying that right. Vijayan. I don't know. It's not Vegeta. Vijayan. Windows Defender Pretender attack dismantles flagship Microsoft EDR. So there's a newly patched flaw in Windows Defender, right? And allows attackers to attack the signature update process for Windows Defender. So Windows Defender being antivirus, this is where we're at now, folks, right? So it's kind of like a supply chain attack, right? Like, even though you're doing everything the correct way, you're doing everything the right way, I'm doing the updating, I'm making sure I'm putting this stuff out there to keep my systems protected. Like, this is kind of what we're dealing with now, is that this is where the exploits are leading to, right? So what this was there was 97 CVEs that Microsoft patched. This was back in April of 2023, right? And one of them was security feature bypass vulnerability, and it allowed an unprivileged user, okay? So a user without any type of admin capabilities or anything like that, it allowed them to hijack Windows Defender and use it to mess up a system, right? And even cause denial of service attacks, right? Because it wasn't just a matter of it of this vulnerability going in and saying, hey, allow these certain things, like things that are known to be issues, like Mimi cats, right? Like it went in there and put it on the approved list to where it doesn't get shut down, doesn't get deleted, right? And then they also figured out that you can actually also do a denial of service by having Windows Defender delete things that are legitimate, right? So this is the next level right here. This is where we're at, right? So as people do, or I can't even say as people, but as companies make it easier, because Microsoft does make it easier for you to do your patching and do your antivirus and make sure you're protected like you need to be. This is the route we're going to, where someone who has bad intentions, right? I'm not necessarily going to say hackers, right? But anyone who has bad intentions can come in and make something like this happen. Now, it is still a little bit of a sophisticated attack, right? It's not something that's very easy that, some script kiddie can come in there and make happen. But the fact that they're hijacking the update process now, this is one of those things where, and it shouldn't be too surprising to us, right? Because the supply chain attacks let us know that even if you do the right thing, like, you can still get got, and that's what's happening here, right? With this issue. So hijacking the update process, hijacking Windows Defender, that's kind of like, I don't know, that's getting ahead of the game to me. You know what I mean? So and they even have some slides, like, as you start going through this article, like they go and show how they presented the slides to show what they did, right? Like replacing DLLs and all this good stuff, right? And it's kind of an interesting read. Like, if you're really into that stuff. I'm not really into that stuff, but as I look down and I'm going through the slides, I'm like, ooh, I was like, oh, oh, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like you can't catch a break here with what they're trying to do. But yeah, this was something it's a little hard to see, right? Like for me, it's a little hard to see because I know we on this show at least tell people, hey, make sure you're staying updated, make sure you're doing this, make sure you're doing that, and this happens, right? So it kind of, I don't want people to get discouraged to be like, well, it doesn't matter what I do, right? Like something is better than nothing for sure, right? But make sure you are, if you're using Windows Defender, right? Like I don't use Windows Defender, but if you're using Windows Defender, make sure you are still making sure it's active, you're updating like you need to. And again, this is a vulnerability from back in April that has been patched, right? So it does it does still do you good to patch everything and to make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. But just know that even with that, like you can still get got. But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I like to share those right after this message from our sponsor. I'm just kidding. We don't have any sponsors. So if you would like to provide a service, provide training, certification, or anything that would help out our audience, I'm looking for you to potentially sponsor our program. So we're not looking for anything crazy, right? I don't want to sell boxers or vapes or anything like that, but things that are helpful to the audience. Please seek us out. So with that out of the way, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Um, so I thought this was interesting. So a lot of really good articles been being sent to me from audience members. So this one came from Ed Nestor. So definitely shout out to you. I didn't even know he listened to the show. But apparently he's been perusing some of the episodes, right? So I appreciate that. Um, it's funny, like we talk about it off camera. Like we don't necessarily steer away from the trillion dollar companies. It's just like I have my favorites, right? I'm always talking about Apple, I'm always talking about Google. I usually leave Microsoft alone, and I don't know why. Um, I do know why, because they will disappear me. But I thought this one was interesting because a lot of good information is coming out of DEF CON and just like the buzz around it, right? So it's like DEF CON is like the equivalent of the E3 for us gaming nerds, right? Where you get a lot of cool information and things like that. So this research actually interested me a lot that he shared with me. Um, and it's cool to see um, people are on the good side, right? The blue teamers are doing things to find these weaknesses and these holes to help out the bigger companies. Hopefully, before someone figured it out. I'd say that they didn't beforehand, but like you said, it's been patched out of existence, right? But it also goes to show how even the most intricate software can be disrupted or fooled with the simplest of changes. So, like what I saw from the article specifically was um, that they gave proof of concept and making changes to the VDM files that caused Defender to fail to recognize threats such as Conti and Mimikatz. Um, even though they were in there saying like, hey, these are signatures you should be looking out for, just by simply changing naming conventions or putting on the white list of things that were okay, it easily tricked the software into allowing those things to be vulnerabilities, right? So we continuously talk about the supply chain and how security needs to be baked in from scratch, and it is. However, it we'll see later in a different article that I picked out. It pays very well for researchers to continue to dig into these things to hopefully find it before the bad guys find it, or if they are too late, at least it is made aware, and then a company like Microsoft can quickly patch these things out of existence. So yeah, continue to do your patches, because if you did not patch, then you would definitely be susceptible to this because it was there until April. But it does make you a little weary of your patching and when you do patch, right? Like your patching schedule, your patch management process. Um,
And
so
again, Rand is unprivileged, right? So not as an admin. Like
yeah,
that's another part, right? That's kind of scary about it. It's like, ugh.
right, exactly. So I completely agree with Shannon. It is scary waters that we're in. However, it's good to see again, like to see this research and then to put it out as well, right? So this fuels the blue teams to continue to look for things and try to patch things. It doesn't allow Microsoft to rest on their laurels. So that's always good, but it is scary, right? Like you do have people out there who may have found this beforehand and were uh, using it as a tool of harm at some point. So definitely check it out. It's a really good article. It's on Dark Reading. Um, And like Shannon said, it was published on August 9th. So relatively recent article. So definitely continue to check us out throughout the week. So again, Monday and Tuesday are topics. Wednesdays are our discussion. I think this week's going to be really good. Thursday, because we have a full week again. Can't promise that every week, right? Just depends on when I record with people and when people are available. But Sam Brown breaks down some things that you could be doing to make yourself better in this job market that we're currently in, and the kind of universal principles in finding jobs that definitely apply to cyber. So he did his thing when it came to the expertise side of the house, and then I try to help make it applicable to us here in this forum, and or people who are transitioning out of the military as well. So all that stuff's really good. So definitely check that out. And then Friday's everything else. So we'll be catching up with Shannon, talking about his vacation and all that good stuff. And me and my daughter and her driving lessons. So definitely check that out on Friday. So hopefully I'll be here next Friday to continue this discuss it. But it's good times. It was fun. So definitely check us out to hear those stories. So hit up the websites that go by our name. You can me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I am on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.